Good. Has anybody got any questions yet? No? So I haven't got that much material, so you need to ask some questions. So, next in line, I'm going to go to the code amplifier. So for anyone that's not familiar with code, this is basically kind of a departure for Marshall into something different, something new, which is digital amplifiers. So a lot of people say, why Marshall done a digital amplifier? And I was one of those people. I was thinking, well, we do the best valve amplifiers, so why do we have to do anything else? But as a brand, as a company, we recognise that the digital thing for some players has many uses really. You know, some players like the digital thing. They don't want to have, you know, an amp and lots of different pedals and different amps on stage. They might want to get lots of different sounds, lots of different combinations, all from one box. Okay. And then you've got players, you know, pro players as well, who want a little practice amp that does everything, for on the tour bus or in hotel rooms. So again, it becomes very popular for those players as well. We've actually had a lot of our artists from, you know, very famous bands sort of contacting us asking for code 25s, which is a small one, so they can take them on tour, warm up with them backstage, sort of have little hotel room practices, that kind of thing. So I have a code at home, because I don't get to have all my pedals and amplifiers out in my living room, mostly because my wife tells me to shut up and put it all away. But the biggest reason is it's convenient. It's nice and easy to plug in. So I'm just going to switch the leads over before I forget. It's going to take a little bit more time, this one. The pedals on the pedal board are all bypassed. Okay, so everything you're going to hear is on the amp. And just before we go into it, actually, I know someone's going to ask about the pedals. I've got a tuner, which is allowed. That's okay, I think. Wah. And I've got a drive pedal that doesn't colour the tone. It just adds more gain. I'm just pushing some of the lead parts with that. And a couple of delays, but I'm only really using one of those today straight into the front of the amp. There's only a touch there, which I'm using on the amps which don't have reverb. So yeah, but for this now it's just the amplifier. So the idea of code, like I mentioned earlier, was, you know, if you want an amplifier where you can have lots of different amp sounds, multi-effects, and a cool app, because it's got an app with it as well, so you can edit on your phone and share your sounds with your friends. This is probably the best bet for you. Now, again, most of the amp models in this are Marshalls, but there are a couple of other sounds in there, you know, not as important as Marshall, but you know, we have to put them in there. So there's like, you know, your American clean sounds and your American high gain, that kind of thing. But you know, you can go quite in depth with this amplifier, or you can keep it nice and simple. Basically, when you get one of these out of the box, whether you get the code 25, which is the small one, 25 watt combo with a 10-inch speaker, or whether you get the 50, which is a 1x12 combo, 50 watts, the 100 combo, which is this one, which is a 212, or the head and 412 code. What's great about it is they're all the same as far as features go. So if you get the small one, you've still got all of the different amps, all of the effects that the big one has got. The only thing that's different is the size and volume. So there's 14 different types of preamp in this amplifier. There's 4 different types of power amp, and you can mix and match them as much as you like. So if you want to try a JCM 800 preamp with a Fender style power amp with 6L6s, you can do that. You can change the cabinet types. So there's 8 different types of cabinet. You can go 412s, 212s, 1x12s, and there's variations on each. So there's like the standard cabinets. They've also emulated the vintage cabinets as well. And like I say, there's effects. You've got pre-effects like overdrives, and compressors, pitch shifters, that kind of thing. You've got your modulations, your delays and your reverbs. So, like I mentioned earlier, what I love about this amplifier, especially when we released it, I was doing lots of demos, is you could carry all of your sounds around on your phone, because there's an app called Marshall Gateway which you can download for free. If you just want to check it out, see what the amplifier does, it's all on there. And you can edit all of your presets. You can play them on any amplifier from your phone just by connecting with the Bluetooth. And you can even share your sounds with your friends, or download more sounds from the Marshall website, because there's another dedicated Marshall website for this amplifier. But you can also back up your library and do all that kind of thing as well. So it's a really kind of cool, versatile amp. So, I'll shut up and stop talking for a minute, and I'll show you some of the different sounds. So these are all the presets straight out of the box. Now there's 100 presets. Don't run out of the room, I'm not going to play all 100, don't worry. I'm just going to show you some of the main ones. Okay, so first is the JTM Clean. Okay. The next one is an American clean, so that's not a Marshall. But on this one, there's some effects. We've got a bit more reverb and delay on this one. So again, all of the effects are coming from this. There's nothing going on down here. It's got quite a big reverb on this, but it's also got a vintage style delay, so you get a little bit of a warble in the delay, so it's kind of similar-ish to an old sort of tape delay. This preset is called 1962. Can somebody guess why it's called 1962? Yeah? I heard a yeah. No? Does anybody know why it's called 1962? I guess. Pardon? There you go. So you notice the first year of production for Marshall, we released the Blues Breaker amplifier. So, yeah, that is the album that made this sound very, very kind of famous. So it's like a really honky kind of mid-rangey blues tone. Next, we've got a Plexi preset. Anybody know what Plexi is? Plexi style amps from Marshall? No? Yes? No? Yeah. Some people are nodding. Yeah, I'll go with that. Oh, this guy's a Plexi guy? Plexi guy! Okay. As long as you said Plexi guy, I thought you said something else then. So yeah, any of the vintage style Marshalls where they had plexiglass front on the panel, basically the stuff we were doing in the 60s, is called a Plexi. But there's lots of variations within the Plexis. And another great thing about Marshall, we still make plexis to this day. Now, we still produce the first production amp, which was the JTM 45, then the 100 watt 1959 and the 50 watt 1987X. They're all still available and still made in the UK. But yeah, this one is kind of supposed to be a plexi that's maxed out, it's turned up full. A lot of people don't understand how a plexi works really. The more you turn it up, the better it sounds. But unfortunately, you lose your hearing in the process. So with the digital version of this, you don't need to worry about that. You can turn it down as much as you like. It still responds and reacts to your guitar, which in a lot of digital products it kind of doesn't do that, it gets lost. But if I want to use that tone and then roll back the volume on the guitar, which is what a lot of old school kind of guitar players used to do to get a clean sound, it does exactly that. So. Don't worry, not too many presets. This one is kind of more of a higher gain version of that. Difference is we've chosen a different cabinet. It's more of the standard Marshall, whereas we just heard the one with green backs, which sounds a little bit more vintage. And also a little bit more of a scoop sound. This is kind of meant to be a more modern kind of rock, kind of metal sound. I'm guessing by the name, it's called Big Chunk on this one. So. Into the sort of more lead tones. So like I say, these are all straight out of the box, these ones. I haven't tweaked any of these, it's just as the amplifier comes. This preset uses a little bit more as far as effects goes. Still in the plexi kind of amp region. But I said earlier we've got built-in effects, pedals. So there's an overdrive in this, and there's 3 different overdrives. There's an OD, there's a DS, and there's one called Governor. Does anybody know what the Governor is? Yeah, okay. So this simulates the old Governor pedal going straight into the front of a plexi with lots of delay. So this is kind of that typical Guitar Hero tone. I'm going to show you a couple more, then we'll move on. This one is just a complete contrast to that last sound. The reason why I've gone from that preset to this one is just to show you how flexible the unit is really. This one's called Retro Session. So anybody that's kind of up, anybody that's probably above the age of 30 actually will realise a lot of the session sounds back in the day were really over-processed. Loads of compressor, chorus, delays, reverbs, that kind of thing, effects. So even though I've just showed you the bread and butter tones in the amp, like the cleans, the rhythms, the crunch sounds, it does some really cool things with effects as well. So like I say, this is all coming from the amplifier. Sound to hide behind if you're jet lagged, by the way. So, it does loads of cool things with the effects. The next one, similar thing going on. This one's called Delay for You Too. You can guess. And this is where I always get caught out doing these demos, because I don't actually know any U2 songs. I'm not really a fan. I mean, they're good, but not enough for me to really want to learn anything. So I'll do a fake U2, if that's alright. So, loads of delay, loads of reverb, loads of effects. So, the point I'm trying to make is, a lot of other similar products hide behind all the effects with all the presets. It's all effects, which sounds great, especially to the guy just starting out in the shop. It sounds really impressive, nice to play around with. So this does all of that, but the important thing is just that straightforward. Straightforward rock tone, okay? So remember, all that's coming out of one box. You can control it all with the amplifier itself, all on the panel. Or you can use the Gateway app, which allows you to control everything, like I mentioned earlier. Share all your sounds, download extra sounds, give other people your sounds, do whatever you want with it. Or even if you just want to use it because you're too lazy to get out of bed, but you want to play guitar in bed without having to get out of bed to adjust the amplifier. Any questions on that one?
I got a question.
Go.
Say, it has its own speaker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the one that, sorry. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
It's even quieter now.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the cap sims, we turn it off and just by the cabinet itself, is it okay or is it?
Oh, if you've got another cabinet, you mean?
Right. I mean, like.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you, for example, with the combos, it's internally connected. There's no extra sockets on the back with the combos, apart from the 100. And also, the head is probably your best bet to do. If you want to use your own cabinet, if you've already got cabinets, get the head, and you can bypass all the internal speaker simulation to.
Is it okay?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Say that again, sorry. No, not yet. No, they're always doing upgrades and extra things. But what you can do, same sort of thing, with the USB on this amplifier, you can use it to do firmware updates, Also, when you go onto the My Marshall website, when you connect it with a USB, you can try out lots of other sounds which are on the cloud without downloading them. You can just click on them and it automatically plays through the USB. But also, you can use it as an interface. So if you want to record at home straight into your computer with the USB, you can do that. So you could bypass all the speaker emulation and use your own impulse responses that way. But there's none actually built into the amplifier. Okay? Can't wait. Yeah. I don't know how long. No idea. That's up to the scientists at the Marshall Laboratory that work in top secret. Any other questions? No? Sure? This amplifier is a favourite for a lot of people, the DSL. Okay? And DSL stands for the dual super lead, 2-channel. We actually launched DSL a long time ago, sort of around 1997, which was called the JCM 2000 back then. And then we stopped it for no reason apart from we had to do other amplifiers, which is usually the way. But because we realised it was still so popular, we wanted to bring out an amplifier that was more accessible for everyone. You know, for the people who don't want to spend a lot of money on a UK-made or a hand-wired amplifier or anything like that. The DSL and the Origin are both made in the Vietnam factory. Now, just one thing about the Vietnam factory, it's a dedicated Marshall factory. There's nothing else manufactured there. It's all Marshall products. And, you know, it's run exactly the same as the UK factory. Actually, the guy who set the Vietnam factory up is the same guy that set who ran and overlooked the operations of the UK factory. So it's very much a like for like. The only thing that's better is obviously the price is more competitive. So this is why we've relaunched the DSL. And again, there's various versions of this. It starts with the DSL 1 watt, there's a 5 watt, there's a 20 watt. This one is the 40. And you can get heads and combo versions of these. So the 1 comes as a head or combo. 5 just comes as a combo. And the 20 comes either as a combo or head. And the 40 just comes as a combo. But if you want a head version of the 40, you go for the DSL 100, which has all the same features. I think I've got that right. But basically, essentially, they're 2-channel amps. And the first channel is a clean or a crunch, similar to what we had on the Jubilee. And the second channel is your overdrive channel or your lead channel. So I was going to show you the sounds in isolation first. On overdrive 1, I'll leave it on that because it sounds good. So that's overdrive 1. Overdrive 2. Very similar sound, just a little more compressed, a little more saturated really, and better for leads. He's probably one of the nicest clean sounds you'll ever hear actually, and no one thinks of clean when they think Marshall. So we go real super glassy clean. you can toggle between all 4 of those sounds with the foot switch. Okay. Effects loop on this, which is also foot switchable. A reverb for each of the channels, all valve, and 2 master volumes, which the original DSL never had. You just had a volume for each of the channels. So there's 2 master volumes on here. A lot of people might think, why 2? Because it's foot switchable, so you can set yourself a boost for any of the sounds if you just want to be louder than everyone else in the band at any point. You can do that quite easily. Which, let's be honest, guitar players like to be the loudest, I think. Especially if your singer's terrible. So, any questions on the DSL? ER34, this one. Yeah. Most Marshalls are ER34, if they're the bigger amps, not the small stuff. The closest amp we've got to a 6L6 sound is actually the JTM 45 and the JCM 900 use 5881s, which even though they've got a different name, are pretty much a 6L6. It's actually a military grade 6L6 5881. So just in case you ever got to play in a war zone, get one of those amplifiers. No, actually it's because they travel a little bit better, they're less delicate. That's the main kind of reason. Any other questions? No? I'll play a track. I think we've got more games, I think, after this song. Yeah? Are you ready this time? Don't leave me hanging.
tangan buat Spaceman sekali lagi teman-teman.